Hey everybody, it's Liz from West Star Tarot, and today is day 31 of Card of the Day May. We made it through the whole month. And I pulled a card every day but one day. I don't have my little notebook. I can't remember. I think it was May 23rd maybe that I missed. But I did not record all of the other 30 days. I tried, but I have to say May 2025 was the most challenging, trying, tiring months of my life. And I'm really glad it's over. Not the card of the day May, but the month itself, and all the stuff that I had to get through this month to, which is why I'm so tired. But, you know, I'm really going to be intentional about restoring my energy in the month of June. And that actually relates to my card of the day for yesterday, May 30th. I got the Initiate of Stones, and this is the second time I pulled this card. Let me see, when was the first time? May 9th, I pulled it, and May 30th. And when I show you the card I pulled today next to this card, I think it really is an interesting combination. So what they say about this card in the book, and I usually like to hold my cards up when I talk about them, but because these are so darn shiny, there, how's that? So here's what the book has to say. I am being called to stillness, to be initiated into the inner world of peace. Enter within to remember the hidden wisdom I hold. From this place, I will also find the deepest recesses of my heart and remember the essence of who I truly am. All this is essential at this time to move forward on my path. Simplify my living place and create an environment of peace and stillness. So, most of you who have watched, or any of you who have watched my videos this month will know that one of the reasons this month has been challenging and tiring and wearing for me is because I am processing, recovering, going through the death of a close family member. And this month we had, although they died in April, we had the memorial service May 16th. And it was a whole thing. It actually was lovely, but tiring and draining emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, everything. And then that whole weekend, you know, people were around. And then the following weekend, we cleaned out this house to a major degree. Not just my partner's things, but just 20 years worth of accumulation of God knows what. And I still haven't recuperated from that. I just am like, wow, I just don't have the strength and energy I used to have. But one thing about doing the clean out is I have simplified my living place and created an environment of peace and stillness. So, as I said, right now I am more tired than I feel like I've ever been in my life. But I have set the intention for the month of June, or I have decided to be intentional about how I engage in the month of June. I'm going to take the whole month to rest, recover. I'm going to be gardening. I still work a few hours a week. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to be doing anything, but I'm just going to be aware of making commitments, because I'm a social being, and I tend to overcommit, and I'm really going to be careful about that in June. I'm being called to stillness and to be initiated into the inner world of peace. So that is my message the next to the last day of May. And I think I'm going to leave this card up on my altar, since I will not be using this deck in June, just to remind me of that. And then, interestingly, sort of is a juxtaposition to that card from the 30th. The card I pulled today on the 31st is this one, the sun. And so for me, the sun is all about energy, vibrancy, vivaciousness, living large, living joyfully, sucking in all the joy I can around me, and giving joy back. So not being a sponge and sucking up all the joy, but interacting with people and the world at large, nature, everyone, in a reciprocity of joy and joyousness and joyfulness and love and heart. And right now, the Rosa rugosa, which I make rose petal elixir from, is in bloom. And I am going out every day and picking it. I'm drying some of the petals, and I'm making rose petal elixir with some of the petals. And I'm just kind of soaking up that beautiful, joyful, loving, healing, wild rose energy. And I have planted sunflowers, so I will be, not until probably August and September, enjoying these beautiful sunflowers. And so it does say here, find ways to radiate your gifts and talents in your environment to enhance the lives of others. Let your light shine. And so I was thinking about it as an exchange of joyful energy, as another way of doing that. And then this says, start your day with some sun gazing. Early morning when the sun is not too bright, with eyes partially closed, look toward the sun without staring directly into it. Allow the light to enter the window of your soul and permeate throughout every cell of your being. And I am thinking that's really a great way for me to recharge my batteries. So I'm hoping that by the time I get into the month of June, a little bit farther, I'll be able to spend some time sitting on the beach, reading a mystery book, and just soaking up the rays of the sun and the joy of the sun and that energy that feeds us. And so that, along with being intentional about commitments and making sure I take time for myself, and that I rest and eat nutritiously, going to the beach and soaking up the sun is another way that I can literally and figuratively recharge my batteries. So I thought this was actually a beautiful way to end the month with this reminder of stillness and peace, and creating a peaceful, calm environment in my living space, and then recharging my batteries with the bright and brilliant energy of the sun, spending time outside in nature, and at the beach, hopefully, which is like my favorite thing in the world to do. It is really soul-filling, soul-feeding nourishment for me. So this is how I'm ending my month. I'm feeling really good about that. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to leave this really challenging, trying, energy sucking month behind. It wasn't all bad, believe me. It was pretty amazing, really. But I am really tired and I'm ready to just rest and enjoy life. And I do think one of the conclusions I came to as I worked with the cards from the Fifth Tarot, the deck that I chose to work with this month, is that, we think about, I do, I don't know if other people do, I think some people do anyway. I think about, well, why did I come here? Why did I reincarnate? What's my purpose? And I really think that my purpose is this, to spread joy and to be a joyful being and to radiate that joy out onto others. I want to just read, I wasn't going to read this, but since I just said that, I'm going to read. This is kind of cosmic, and I'm going to have to look this up. But they're talking about, so we have, this card was painted on, let's see, I think equinox, yeah, autumnal equinox. And there's a crop circle, and there's also, I think it says there's also a eclipse. So this says, the image of the crop circle shows the geometry of mixed crescent and Fibonacci-styled spirals, an encoded diagram connected to the phenomenon of the sun eclipse. It seems to be an artistic version of the so-called, and this is what I'm going to have to look up because I'm not familiar with it, Saros cycle 145. Saros cycle diagrams show the paths drawn across the Earth's surface by the moon's shadow during a total solar eclipse. One Saros cycle takes 1,000 to 1,200 years to be completed and is made of about 42 sun eclipses each, 18 years, 10 days, and 8 hours. This auspicious timing allowed for a tremendous amount of cosmic energy to come into the sun. Such cycles of the cosmos have a great effect on all of us. Renewal, which is what I need, right? Renewal of the body, mind, and spirit brings continuous growth on our path towards enlightenment. This becomes easier when we are guided by the divine light of the sun. One of the keys of the sun card is regeneration. So I love that. And that's not something that I necessarily think of right away when I think about the sun card. But for me, as I've shared with you how I feel at the end of this month, to pull this card and to be reminded that the sun is a card of regeneration, and that's something that I desperately need right now, is pretty auspicious. And then with this one the day before, reminding me of living within a peace and still environment, I think this is really a great way for me to end the month of May. So thank you to everyone who has watched my videos, who has commented on my videos, who have sent me messages of love and support. I really, really appreciate all of you. It's so nice to be part of a community, and I feel like Kay has created this Card of the Day May community for us. And thank you to Kay. I don't know if you'll watch this video or not, but even if you don't, I hope you feel the energy that I'm sending to you, and I'm thanking you for inviting us all in to share this Card of the Day May process with you. It was very interesting and enlightening, and has given me a lot to think about. I am now going to put this deck away for a while, and the next video I post will be decks I'll be using in June. I'm really, one thing about using one deck for the whole month and not really using other decks is I miss my other decks. And so I will be glad next month to pull out a few decks that I've been particularly missing. So anyway, peace and love.